Welcome back, people. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And yes, it's time for nutrition. And today's topic is overcoming the challenges of being underweight with Folashade Babatunde, who's our guest. And she's a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and the founder of Poisara Nutrition, a nutrition brand that helps individuals build better relationships with food. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
All right, now let's get right to it. Underweight. Can you find an adult that is underweight in these times where everybody's on a weight loss journey?
Yes.
So please explain, how can one tell that you're underweight?
Right. Okay, so I think the easiest way to know whether you're underweight is to calculate your body mass index, which is often called the BMI.
And that's something a lot of people really do not know how to calculate.
Yes, and so calculating your BMI is your weight in kg, in kilogram over your height squared. Right, and so in the classification you have, if it's below 18.5, you're underweight. If it's between
18.5.
Yes.
As an adult.
Yes.
Wow, that's really low.
So below 18.5 is overweight. From 18.5 to 24.9 is the normal range. And so once it's 25 to 29, you're overweight. And then above 30, you're obese. Right. Yeah. So depending on where you fall. So once it's below 18.5, you are considered underweight. Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about some of these challenges. What could, lead to one being underweight?
I think one of the major causes is the quality of your diet. If you're not eating enough, you're not consuming enough calories.
Yeah.
So that can lead to you being overweight. We also have people who, due to certain health conditions, for example, if you have diabetes, intentional weight loss can be one of the signs that you see. Cancer is also something that makes people lose weight a lot. You also have cases where people have overactive thyroid, and so in that case, their metabolism is very high, and so they tend to lose weight more often. So you have cases like that. Then some medication also can make people also lose weight, and maybe people who have emotional challenges, also depression, sometimes lead to people losing their appetite, and then in serious cases they get to also lose weight.
All right. So if anyone watching right now who falls into this category, but they don't know that they're actually underweight, what would you advise that they do?
I would advise that they do check their weight and then do the calculation, the body mass calculation, which is weight over your height in meters square, and so the value, getting the checking where it falls in the classification gives you an idea. And if you also think it falls below, then you can get to see your doctor, who would then do proper check and see if there are other conditions that are that have led to you being extremely overweight.
Now let's talk about diet, because this also plays a very critical role in being, in helping to overcome being underweight. So what kind of diet, how would you help with that when it comes to our diet as a dietitian? Yeah.
So for people who are underweight, something similar to when you want to lose weight, you need to do it in a balanced and healthy approach, using a balanced and healthy approach. Okay. So for example, you're considering eating foods that are calorie dense. So you have your beans, your yam, all these foods are calorie dense. The food people who are losing weight will try to run away from.
Exactly.
You need to eat those foods. And also, oftentimes you find that people who are underweight are not able to consume large meals at a time. So you're thinking of maybe eating smaller meals frequently through the day, and then you're looking at healthy snacks. And when we talk about healthy snacks, you're looking at nuts, for example, your cashew nuts, your groundnut. They're very high in calories. If you can afford almond nuts, right, it's also something you can add to it. You have butter, you have full cream milk, things that you can combine into your meals to make it more energy dense. So rather than just doing like one meal, there are ways you can get to modify a particular meal to ensure that it has a lot of calories. Another way to do it is to drink your calories, where you put together some smoothies that can be very high in calorie. Imagine making a smoothie with a banana and avocado. It makes the calorie, make it very, very dense.
Overload.
Yes, and then you can drink at regular interval in the day, just to ensure that.
Okay, someone watching this now is thinking, that means I have to eat like 4 times, 5 times in a day to replenish, some of these nutrients. Is that what you're saying?
So, yes, that's what I'm saying, because for you to gain weight, you need to consume more calories. And for many people, it may be difficult to consume that large amount of calorie in one meal or in 3 meals, right? And so one of the things also identified in people who are underweight is that they are not able to consume large meals once. So the best way to do it is to spread the meals out through the day, and also have them drink calorie-dense drinks, yes. So that, for example, you've taken your breakfast, in between breakfast and lunch, you're taking a drink. or fruits, calorie-dense fruits. Okay. And then your lunch, in between lunch and dinner, you can also have something. And then your dinner, just looking for ways. But then for different people, there are different ways. For people who can still consume, more meals, you can ensure that those meals are calorie dense so that it can help them consume the necessary calories to help them gain weight.
Okay, so now that we've dealt with the adults, let's go over to the children. Does this also, is this also the same method for children, or is it a different is it different altogether? How do you help an underweight child, gain back their weight?
So it's something similar to for children also. However, kids' meals are, for example, if you look at infants who have not gained weight as they should. So there are ways you can also get to fortify their meals or modify their meals. For example, you're a child that is still on cereals. You can always add peanut butter, which is high in calories, to their pap, for example. So rather than just do pap and milk alone, you can get to add peanut butter. You can get to add avocado into their meals. Bananas, right? So you can, for example, you're doing beans and banana. You're doing it in mashed form, and then they get to eat it. For kids who are still taking puree, you can get to blend some of these meals together. Imagine blending yam and avocado and maybe chicken. Wow. Yes, so there are ways to get creative about it, and then using the locally available foods.
That's right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.